Is this the most versatile fairway wood that is overlooked this year? Obviously, we are talking about the Stealth Plus 2 fairway wood, and we're also talking about a 5 wood, not a 3 wood, not the one you think, and you'll see that on screen now. Very adjustable. We know that Stealth Plus 2 is the smaller profile wood on the range from TaylorMade this year. It is also the one with the most changeability, so we can change the loft on here, and we can also change the trajectory by using that weight on the bottom to our advantage. So we know when choosing a fairway wood, it's often we go straight to the 3 wood. We've got our driver, we go to the 3 wood, right, what's the best 3 wood? And we don't always use that club the most, but for a lot of everyday golfers, a 5 wood is going to be something that is going to be perfect in your bag, fill a gap that you probably don't have. And there's multiple options from TaylorMade. As you'll see on screen, we've got the Stealth Plus 2, we've got the normal Stealth, and we've also got the Stealth HD. So a lot of options out there. Like I mentioned, this is the smaller profile, so this is the one that looks the smallest behind the golf ball. So you need to think, is that something you like to see? Does that dent your confidence, or does it give you more confidence? Does it look a little bit sleeker? Does something like the HD look a little bit too big? But that's what we talked about last week with the 3 wood with the everyday golfer. He did prefer the look of the HD, but he preferred the performance of the Plus, so it's trying to match that up to get the best one for you. But I've got this set with the highest trajectory, so I've got the weight set all the way back. This is going to help me launch it nice and high. This is going to get it maybe landing soft into greens. If you're looking for a fairway wood to hit into a green, then this could be the perfect setup for you. We can obviously then change the weight all the way around to get this coming out nice and low, which is what we're going to do next. So nice little divot there, extremely high, even into this breeze that looks like it's going a reasonable distance down there. We're going to switch this over now. I'm going to move the weight forwards. I'm going to hit another shot and show you the differences in trajectory. So when you're testing a club, it's not only about seeing what it is in its normal form. We need to see, right, if I want to adjust this, if I'm playing a different golf course, if I need something that's landing a little bit softer, launching a little bit higher, if I'm in warm conditions, then this setting might be perfect. But if I'm playing links golf and we're into the breeze, we might need a total different setting to take that spin off, launch it lower, and still get the shots that we want. So I've changed the settings over now, and you will see on screen we have got that adjustability. We have got everything that you want in a fairway wood, but we can also knock this down. So we're going to do a lot of testing with this club in the coming weeks to see if we take this to a 7 wood loft, can I move the weight forward? What kind of distances can we get? You know, what is the range? If I put this, the highest loft and the highest spin, where does that bring me to? If I make it as strong as possible, what can I get out? Because this one club could fill a lot of spaces in your bag depending where you play. So I've got this now set that it should launch nice and low. Let's see how that goes. You'll see by the tracer, did exactly like we said. Launched nice and low, a little draw down there, but let's get it over into the everyday golfer's hands. Let's see how it performs with him, and then in coming weeks, you'll see a lot of numbers with this club, and would it be perfect for you? Frankie, in you come. So Frankie, hi. 5 wood. We've seen in previous weeks, we've tested a 3 wood out for you. Yes. Obviously, we saw that 2 good options in the HD and the Plus. Obviously the Plus was a little bit too strong, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Just, I don't know. It's like he had like no spin at all.
Yeah,
it just goes miles.
But the HD looked a little bit better, gave you a little bit more confidence, so it was a combination of trying to find the right loft. But we saw that it was going around about 250, and it was a club that you don't use that often, so a 5 wood could be the perfect club for you.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
So par 5 here, this is where Frankie can use this just to lay up short of that bunker that you can see on the right hand side of the hole. And then we could be able to get there in 2 without using driver. So fading back nicely, Frankie. Into the fairway, launched high as you would expect.
Yep.
But it's certainly down there in the middle of the fairway, and we should hopefully just be able to reach.
Yeah.
So we know with a Plus it's the smaller sized head, but we know obviously a 5 wood is important. The top end of your bag, a lot of people overlook. They often get the 3 wood, they get the driver. You'll see a couple of drivers in there. But don't always look into the 5 wood. Again, with this adjustability, we can make this a 7 wood. We can obviously take the spin out, we can add spin. Frankie has hit some numbers in the studio and it was quite impressed. It fills a nice gap for him, which we'll go to shortly. But
Yeah.
now into the green, Frankie's found the fairway as we always expect.
See what we can do.
That's a great shot, a nice little draw. That is right on the front of the green. So a great shot there, Frankie. How does it feel?
It feels good off the face. It launches very high, though.
Yeah, and that's
Not
something,
too
obviously, if we
short.
look at the bottom of the club quickly, as Frankie cleans it, great
Clean
job
it off.
there, Frankie. If we look at the bottom of the club, the weight is set, obviously, back, so we know that that is going to get it launching a little bit higher with a little bit more spin. We can move that weight around, so we can move it forward, get it launching lower with
Yeah.
a little bit less spin, which might be good if you play links golf. It might be a club that you still use and you can control even in windy conditions. So we can see that that has just landed short and stopped pretty quickly, so very interesting there. That's what we're trying to get from a 5 wood, is we know how it's going to land as it's launching nice and high, so we've got the landing angle there to come down just short of the flag. So 2 5 woods, it's not the club obviously you would use for this hole. You would obviously use a driver, you'd get past that bunker and then we'd have something shorter in, but it's a great option for Frankie. We know obviously what kind of trajectory we're going to get, we know what kind of landing angle we're going to get, so the numbers of obviously carry and total are a bit more consistent, Frankie.
Yeah, like 3 wood can come off like ultra hot sometimes, so but they've gone like pretty much the same, haven't they? For the tee shot and the approach shot.
So let's get to the numbers now and let's show you the difference between last week's 3 wood. So as we can see from the numbers with the 5 wood, Frankie hit 5 woods in there. We saw one's a little bit of a pulse, that has gone a little bit further, but 98 miles an hour on average, 223 yards carry and 236 total. So Frankie did say he's got a 3 hybrid that's going around about 220 carry, between 215 and 220, so very close to that with that setting. So in coming weeks we're going to move that weight back. If we could get that up to a 240 number, maybe even a 250 number, it's a very useful club, because if we look at the height again, we can start to see that it's up to 40 yards high. So coming into a par 5, into a long par 3, a very useful club for Frankie to have in the bag in comparison to a 3 wood. But let's get back out there and see him hit a couple more. So we can see from the numbers we got a lot of launch from that, and that's exactly what Frankie is seeing there. We're going to test this out in coming weeks, where we're going to mess around with the weight on the back. We're going to start to see, can we get it lower? Does that then affect it? Does it go too far? Is it then not usable into the green? We can also loft this down to a 7 wood. So again, we're going to put this through its paces and see where in Frankie's bag this could fit in perfectly. Well, the third hole here at Waterfront, a nice and narrow tee shot, something where we're trying to get it down there. It's not always a driver, it's a little bit into the wind today.
Not nice.
But we're going to hit this 5 wood because this will put us in perfect position. But for you, Frankie, obviously as an everyday golfer,
yes.
would you be more comfortable hitting this off a tee than a 3 wood on something as narrow as this?
I think so, yeah, because I think they stay straight. I think the 3 woods kind of, if you set them off left or right, that's where they're going to stay.
Yeah, so a little bit more curvature on the 3 wood, for example. So something that's nice and confident for Frankie, but he's very interested to see when this weight goes forwards, what it would do for him. Is he still going to get enough launch? We saw he got up to 40 yards with this setting. If we brought it down to 30, would it be the perfect club? Again, nice and high, to say the least.
It's high, but it's in the fairway.
But nice and straight, left side of the fairway, a little bit of a draw, so a perfect club. So guys, when you're getting fitted for clubs, make sure that you do look at this 5 wood and you do start to think about, right, what gapping have you got? We're going to go through Frankie's gappings in coming weeks and show you obviously how far he hits each club and
Not
why
very
he's
far.
not
very far,
and why he's got the setup he has. But guys, that has been Frankie. That has been the Stealth 2 Plus 5 wood.
Boom.
And we'll see you again next week.